Hey guys, how you doing? This is Mr. Patillo. So I just wanted to give you guys another option, Mr. Adler, when we were trying to find the GCF of these binomials. So what I like to do, it's a little different, but I like to use it and do prime factorization. So I'm going to take this first term, and I'm going to say 2a is really 2 times a. That's what this one really is. All right. Then I'm going to take this other term and I'm going to say, well, this is really 2 times, I have 2a, so a times a. So what I essentially just did was I actually took both of these terms and I broke them up by into multiplication terms, all right? So now when I want to find the GCF, I'm just going to pick the matches that I have. So in this case, they both have a 2 in them. So I like to circle it and I can pull out a 2. All right. I see that they both have an A. Okay. So I can also pull out, I can circle my group of A's, and I can pull out an A. So now I just figured out by me grouping that my greatest common factor is 2A. All right. So now what's left over? Okay. So if I wanted to get to this equation, if I wanted to use a parentheses, I already have 2a as my GCF, so this is essentially 2a, whatever's going to give me 2a is just going to be multiplied by 1. So now I have 2a times 1 is going to give me 2a. Now I already have 2a's out here, but what's left over? All right, there's an a. But we have to remember, because we're distributing, we have to put a sign here, all right? There's no sign there, so this will be positive. So now when we want to recheck ourselves, we can, like Mr. Adler said, do reverse distribution, and we distribute 2a times 1 is going to give us 2a, and then 2a plus 2a times positive a is going to give us 2a squared, and it checks out. All right, I'm going to do another example up here. Let me just pull out, hold on. Okay, I'll pull out another example for you. All right, so for his second B, yeah, all right. All right, let me erase this for you. All right, so that was A. For B, we had 3x squared plus 6x. Okay. So I'm going to essentially break this down again to find the GCF, all right? So when I have 3, all right, I'm going to break my 3 down, okay? And this is really saying 3 times x times x. And what we're actually doing is we're breaking these down into the basic building blocks, which is called prime factors, all right? So we have 3 times x, and that's how I break down 6x. Now, the number 6. All right, I'm going to break it down first by its number, and in prime factors, which means that numbers that are only divisible by 1 in itself, we're going to get 2 times 3 times x. All right, so we have now broken our 3x squared down, and we've also broken down our 6x squared. So now when we do it this way, we're just looking for matches, and that's going to help us pull out our GCF. So I see that I have a 3 in my first term and a 3 in my second term. So I can match those up. All right, and I can pull out a 3. I can also see that we have x's that they both have, so we can pull out now our x's. So now our 3's are paired, our x are paired. So this 3x is actually our greatest common factor. All right. So now we essentially want to go back and look at what do we have left over. All right. So now that I have pulled my GCF out, I see I have an x, all right? So my x is going to go first, and then I have a positive 2. And that's how we break it down. So now when we want to go back and redistribute, 3x times x is going to give me 3x squared. And then if I did 3x times 2, that'll give me plus 6x. All right? It's just another way for you guys to see if it's confusing for you. Like I said, I like to break it down into the most building blocks. All right, and let's do one more. Let's try a 3-term one, all right? Just so you guys can actually see. So problem C was c to the third minus c squared plus 2c. All right, so I'm going to take my first term, and I'm going to actually really separate so you really can see it now. I have c to the third. And c to the third is really c times c times c. That's what this is. All right, I'm now going to go to negative c squared. Now, when we have a negative here, we got to be smart, all right? We got to know that, well, if there's a negative there, then there has to be a -1 somewhere, all right? So now I'm going to say -1 times c times c. That's how we break it down, all right? And for the last one, 2c, this is really just broken down to 2 times c, all right? So now, what we want to do is we want to pull out our greatest common factor. And because we have 3 terms, we want to actually pull out something that they all have. So we have a c here, we have a c here, and we have a c here. So once I'm able to group all these c's together, I can actually pull it out. Now you have to remember, if 2 of these only had a c, we would not be able to pull it out. Each term has to have something in common, all right? And in this case, it's a c, all right? So now we figured out that c was our greatest common factor, all right? So now we make our parentheses. Now we just put it, we got to build it back together. So I have 2 c's. So c times c is really going to give me c squared, all right? Now we have a -1 times a c, which is going to give me a minus c, or -1c if you want to put that there. And then whatever I have left over, and here's is 2 plus 2. So now when we build it back, c times c squared, all right, is going to give me, I'll put it up here so you can see it. We're going to get c to the third power. Then we get c times minus c, we'll get a minus c squared. And then c times plus 2 plus 2c. And there you have it. All right. So guys, this is just another way. If you need help, please email me, or you can email Mr. Adler, but this is just another way for you to break it down. You break each term down, break it apart, and then we're going to build it back together. I hope this was helpful, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day, guys.